Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Dave Navarro is an American guitarist, singer, songwriter, and television personality, widely recognized as one of the most versatile and distinctive figures in rock music. Born on June 7, 1967, in Santa Monica, California, David Michael Navarro became known for his darkly charismatic persona, innovative guitar style, and deep fusion of genres, blending punk, metal, funk, and psychedelic rock in a way few musicians have managed. Navarro's career first took off in the late 1980s as the guitarist for Jane's Addiction, the Los Angeles band that helped define the alternative rock movement of that era. His virtuosic yet emotional guitar work became the backbone of the group's raw, experimental sound on albums like Nothing's Shocking, 1988, and Ritual de lo Habitual, 1990. Songs such as Jane Says, Been Caught Stealing, and Stop showcased Navarro's ability to merge hard rock aggression with intricate melodic textures, helping to pave the way for the 1990s alternative explosion. After Jane's Addiction initially disbanded in 1991, Navarro explored several musical directions. He joined Red Hot Chili Peppers in 1993, contributing to their 1995 album One Hot Minute. While the record received mixed critical reception at the time, it has since gained appreciation for its darker, more experimental tone, influenced in part by Navarro's introspective guitar work and brooding stage presence. He also collaborated with numerous artists over the years, including Nine Inch Nails, Alanis Morissette, Marilyn Manson, Christina Aguilera, and Guns N' Roses, reflecting his adaptability and deep respect within the music community. Navarro's solo album, Trust No One, 2001, offered an intimate glimpse into his personal struggles with loss, addiction, and identity. Its haunting sound and confessional lyrics revealed the emotional complexity beneath his rock star exterior. Outside of music, Navarro has also become known as a television personality and pop culture figure. He served as a judge and host on Ink Master, a reality competition centered around tattoo artistry. Reflecting his long-standing passion for body art and self-expression, his charisma and sharp commentary made him a standout figure on the show, attracting audiences far beyond the rock scene. Navarro's life has also been marked by personal tragedy and resilience. His mother, Connie Navarro, was murdered when he was 15, a trauma he explored decades later in the powerful documentary Morning Sun, 2015. The film delves into how this event shaped his psyche, artistry, and lifelong journey toward healing. Known for his gothic style, philosophical outlook, and provocative openness about sex, spirituality, and mortality, Navarro remains a cultural icon, a bridge between the rebellious spirit of 1980s underground rock and the more introspective art of modern alternative music. Whether performing with Jane's Addiction, producing, or exploring new artistic mediums, Dave Navarro continues to challenge conventions and redefine what it means to be a rock musician in the 21st century. Dave Navarro's life and career are defined by extremes, between chaos and control, darkness and beauty, fame and introspection. Beyond his technical brilliance as a guitarist, he has become a symbol of the emotional and psychological depths that often accompany creativity at its most raw and fearless. Early life and formative years. Navarro grew up in Los Angeles in a family that valued the arts. His father, James Raul Navarro, was a musician, and his mother, Connie Hopkins Navarro, was a model and actress. His parents divorced when he was young, and tragedy struck when his mother and her close friend were murdered by her ex-boyfriend in 1983. Dave, just 15 at the time, was devastated, an experience that would haunt and shape him for decades. Music, he later said, became both an escape and a lifeline. He attended Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks, where he met future Jane's Addiction drummer Stephen Perkins. Together, they began experimenting with music that broke away from traditional rock formulas, fusing punk energy, psychedelic textures, and an almost cinematic sense of mood. Rise with Jane's Addiction in 1986, Navarro joined Jane's Addiction, founded by the Magnetic frontman Perry Farrell. The chemistry between Navarro's intricate, emotive guitar and Farrell's surreal, poetic lyrics created something electrifying. Their self-titled debut album, 1987, captured the raw energy of the Los Angeles club scene. But it was Nothing's Shocking, 1988, that made them national icons. The album's blend of ferocity and melody, from the haunting Summertime Rolls to the blistering Mountain Song, reflected Navarro's range. His guitar lines often felt like emotional narratives, bending and twisting around Farrell's vocals with hypnotic intensity. Ritual de lo Habitual, 1990, pushed their sound even further, and Jane's Addiction became one of the defining voices of the alternative rock movement, influencing countless bands that followed. The band's performances were legendary, both theatrical and chaotic, and Navarro became known for his captivating stage presence. However, tensions, fueled by fame and substance abuse, led to their breakup in 1991. The Chili Peppers era and beyond. After a series of smaller projects, Navarro joined the Red Hot Chili Peppers in 1993, replacing John Frusciante. His influence dramatically shifted the band's sound. One Hot Minute, 1995, was heavier, darker, and more introspective than their earlier funk-driven work. Tracks like My Friends and Warped showcased Navarro's signature use of layered guitar effects and emotional depth. Although his tenure with the Chili Peppers was short-lived, it solidified his reputation as a chameleon, an artist able to adapt his sound without losing his identity. He later collaborated with numerous musicians across genres, from pop to industrial, always adding a distinctive edge to every project. Solo work and later career. In 2001, Navarro released his solo album Trust No One, a deeply personal exploration of trauma, addiction, and isolation. Songs like Rexall and Slow Motion Sickness reflected his introspective lyrics and atmospheric guitar work, merging pain with beauty. The album received critical acclaim for its honesty and its haunting, cinematic sound. Navarro also continued to reunite with Jane's Addiction periodically, with several reformations and tours through the 2000s and 2010s. Albums like Strays, 2003, and The Great Escape Artist, 2011, showed that the group could evolve while staying true to their rebellious, experimental spirit. Personal life and philosophy. Dave Navarro's personal life has been as complex as his music. He has been married 3 times, to makeup artist Tanya Goddard, model and actress Rian Gittins, and most famously, Carmen Electra, from 2003 to 2007. His relationship with Electra was highly publicized and even featured in an MTV reality show. Till Death Do Us Part, Carmen and Dave. Navarro has been open about his struggles with heroin addiction, which began in the 1990s and lasted for years. He entered recovery after multiple attempts and has since become an advocate for mental health awareness. In interviews, he often discusses the importance of self-discovery, therapy, and creative expression as tools for healing. He is also deeply spiritual, exploring elements of Eastern philosophy, mysticism, and occult symbolism, though he resists labels. Navarro has described himself as both skeptical and spiritual, searching for meaning through art rather than organized belief. Television and cultural influence. As host and judge of Ink Master, 2012 to 2022, Navarro found a new audience. His intelligence, dry humor, and appreciation for artistry made him a compelling TV personality. The show's focus on creativity, risk, and personal expression echoed the same values that defined his music. He also appeared in documentaries, films, and numerous interviews discussing creativity, addiction, and trauma. His 2015 documentary Morning Sun was one of his most heartfelt works, a reflection on his mother's murder and his journey toward forgiveness and closure. Legacy Dave Navarro remains one of rock's most enigmatic and influential figures. His guitar style, fluid, emotional, and cinematic, has inspired generations of musicians. But more than that, his willingness to confront pain, vulnerability, and darkness through art has made him a symbol of resilience. He once said, "I think beauty and pain live right next to each other. You can't have one without the other." That philosophy runs through everything he's done, from the walls of distortion he builds on stage to the quiet introspection of his personal art. Musical style and influences. Dave Navarro's guitar playing is often described as a fusion of virtuosity and atmosphere, technical without being sterile, emotional without being sentimental. He blends psychedelic rock, punk, metal, funk, and gothic tones into a sound that feels both grand and intimate. Navarro's approach is sculptural. He builds sonic landscapes, layering textures and moods instead of just riffs. He cites Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Daniel Ash, of Bauhaus and Love and Rockets, and Robert Smith, of The Cure, among his biggest influences. From Hendrix, he drew freedom and expressiveness. From Page, a sense of dynamics and tension. From Ash and Smith, a love for atmosphere and the beauty of melancholy. Navarro often merges these inspirations with an LA street sensibility, sharp, sensual, and unpredictable. Technically, he is known for his use of effects like chorus, delay, and reverb, creating ethereal tones that seem to shimmer and breathe. He can deliver blistering solos, but he's equally known for restraint, letting silence or echo convey emotion. On stage, his guitar becomes a voice that alternates between rage, sorrow, and transcendence. His aesthetic has always been tied to his sound. Navarro often dresses in black leather, makeup, and jewelry, channeling both rock glamour and gothic mystique. His stage persona is theatrical, but his focus never wavers from the emotional core of his music. Influence on alternative rock. Dave Navarro helped redefine what alternative meant in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Before Jane's Addiction, the rock landscape was polarized, mainstream metal on one side, punk and indie underground on the other. Navarro and his bandmates bridged that gap. They showed that raw energy and technical brilliance could coexist with artful experimentation. Jane's Addiction's success laid the groundwork for the Lollapalooza Festival, founded by Perry Farrell in 1991, which became a cornerstone of alternative culture. Navarro's style, both musical and visual, directly influenced bands such as Smashing Pumpkins, Tool, Soundgarden, and Nine Inch Nails, each of whom incorporated emotional depth and sonic layering that echoed Navarro's guitar-driven soundscapes. Even his brief tenure with Red Hot Chili Peppers expanded the boundaries of funk rock, pulling the band toward darker, moodier territory. Songs like Aeroplane and Warped still bear Navarro's distinctive tension, blending sensuality with spiritual unrest. Visual art and symbolism. Navarro is not only a musician but also a visual artist and photographer. His artwork, much like his music, explores themes of mortality, duality, and transformation. He frequently incorporates religious iconography, bones, and geometric patterns, expressing what he calls the interplay between pain and beauty. He once said that painting and photography are his meditations, helping him channel emotions that words or guitar notes can't express. His visual work often draws parallels between physical scars and emotional ones, exploring the body as both a canvas and a site of memory. This interest in symbolism is also evident in his tattoos. Navarro's body is covered in ink that represents milestones in his life, personal philosophies, and tributes to loved ones. His tattoos have become part of his identity, each telling a fragment of his story. Personal reflections and mental health advocacy. Navarro's openness about mental health has become one of the most powerful aspects of his legacy. Having survived childhood trauma, addiction, and depression, he's spoken candidly about living with PTSD and the importance of therapy. He has used interviews, podcasts, and social media to encourage others to seek help and destigmatize emotional suffering. In recent years, he has collaborated with mental health organizations and recovery communities, using his platform to advocate for compassion and awareness. He often emphasizes that creativity can be both a coping mechanism and a way to connect to others, that art doesn't just come from pain, but transforms it. Later years and continuing influence. Navarro remains active in music, art, and television. He continues to
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.